baseball from Kauffman Stadium. It is Classic Car Show Day as the Royals, in classic fashion, go for a 3-game sweep over the Cleveland Indians. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the ballpark with Rex Hudler. I'm Ryan Lefevre. Joel and Monty are coming up in the next segment. And if you had been away from the Royals for a few years, maybe you're out of the country, you weren't paying attention, and you tuned them on the last 2 nights as we look at our Kia Drive to Success, you might think this was the 14 and 15 Royals.
Coming to the ballpark today, the parking lot attendants, they were all had smiles on their faces. It's just amazing what winning does. And the ball club, they're responding. Now, there's a lot of good sounds as our Kia Drive to Success will show you. A lot of great sounds, especially when that ball meets that bat and in winning fashion. But what was even better to hear, the crowd noise. They're cheering. They've struggled all year at home this year, and look what they gave the people.
And the Royals have had a couple of well-pitched games so far in this series. The baton is handed to Jorge Lopez. He'll make his 3rd start as a Royal, and Joel and Monty will break it down.
Smiling, and here he is on a player's weekend with just about 10.5 minutes until he delivers the first pitch in his 3rd start as a Royal. Joel Goldberg, Royals Hall of Famer Jeff Montgomery, Little Monty still hanging out. To give you an idea of Jorge Lopez's personality, you don't usually talk to starting pitchers. He sees me in the clubhouse this morning, and he goes, Joel, comes and gives me a hug. Have a great day. This guy is just happy-go-lucky. How about his stuff and improvements he's made?
Yeah, he is certainly a breath of fresh air, and we saw him last weekend in Tampa. Here he is, 2nd start as a Royal, and to me, he was much more comfortable on the mound. He got outdueled, lost a game 1-0, but we heard about his fastball coming in. We heard Salvador Perez raving about his stuff, his curveball, his changeup, his slider. But to me, he used his fastball more efficiently, more effectively in his last start. And I think this will be a key for him. Anytime your guy has a power arm, use that power arm, set up your off stuff, and we saw a really nice glimpse of that in his last start.
Gave up a grand slam in his start here at the K against Toronto. Much better in Tampa earlier this week as he got the well-deserved handshakes from Ryan O'Hearn and others. And Bro Hearn has been so good, they found a new spot for him in the lineup. Stay with us.
Stadium, final game of a 3-game series with the Cleveland Indians. Well, it doesn't seem that long ago, Ryan O'Hearn was trying to get into the lineup every day. And now the way he's been swinging the bat, Ned Yost is finding ways to get him into the lineup. He'll play left field for the first time as a big leaguer today.
He's got to be really excited. He's done a nice job at first base, and everywhere Ned has put him in the lineup as well with that bat. But man, speaking of that, those opposite field home runs from left-handed bats, you just don't see a whole lot of that here at the K. Most of them are going to pull that ball because it's tough to go that way, but the home runs have been nice. But how about feathering the ball down the lines to line? This guy can use both sides of the field and up the middle. He has been timely with his hits and opened a lot of eyes.
7 RBIs in his last 7 in our Kubota Power Stats. The Royals may petition the league and keep these uniforms when the series is over. Missouri Lottery. Every ticket played gives back to Missouri schools. So play it forward with the Missouri Lottery. And by Chevrolet, the most awarded and fastest growing brand the last 4 years overall. Find yours at your Kansas City area Chevy dealers. Today, the Royals can flip the script on the Indians. Cleveland had won 6 straight series against the Royals, but now today, the Royals go for a sweep. And we get another look at Jorge Lopez. He'll start for the Royals, his 3rd start since the trade with the Brewers. The first pitch is coming up next. But otherwise, everything is turned blue to the beginning of this homestand. The Royals have won the first 2 against the first place Cleveland Indians, with the Tigers and the Orioles also coming to town after an off day tomorrow. Royals pitching so far has done an excellent job of holding down the Indians. They've scored just 5 runs in the first 2 games of the series, and in particular holding down the first 4 hitters in the lineup: Lindor, Brantley, Ramirez, and Encarnacion. And today we'll see Jorge Lopez making his 3rd start since coming over from the Brewers. His first start, he was the victim of a grand slam. And then on Monday at Tampa Bay, he gave up just 1 run in 5 innings.
Yeah, that slam, that'll hurt you anytime. But look, he's got a good fastball. He's going to have to move it around, no question about it. But his keys, take the winning baton and go on the attack. All right, the Rays were just 3 for 13 versus his fastball. Move it around. See if you can get under him and over him.
A national anthem standoff. All of the Indians are in the dugout except for one. All of the Royals are in the dugout except for one.
Well, I have to give it to Bonifacio. He's on the grass. He's way up there on the grass. And that's, to me, scoring big points.
What is that? That Eric Gonzalez?
That is a nice utility player. Very, very talented. I like the fact that Bonifacio is serious. He's straight-faced.
You can't move, though, can you?
I don't know. Gonzalez moved. They're messing with him, his guys.
Oh, they're telling him, yeah. If you're going to make a statement, get out there.
All right. 1-0, Boney. Our forward around the horn Royals defense. What a day. Ryan O'Hearn, that's right. He's in left field. First major league start this afternoon out there. He shouldn't have a problem. He's had over 85 games in the minors out there in the outfield. Lucas Duda's back at first base. Okay, now Drew Butera is going to get the job behind the plate. No problem. Just another day, but an opportunity to get out in the grass. Trevor Turf. Gordon and right.
Outside to Francisco Lindor, who singled in his first at-bat of the series. And he has always done well against the Royals. But that's his only hit. He is 1 for 9, so he's hitless in his last 8 at-bats. 1 ball, 1 strike against Lopez. And now 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Well, if Lopez can get any kind of movement on his fastball like Philmeyer did last night, he'll be good. That last pitch there, man, that 2-inch run on it.
That was out over the plate, but Lindor did not quite get it. So Alex out in right field makes the play right in front of the track. And there is 1 down, and now Michael Brantley comes to the plate, and he's the only Indian of the top 4 who's driven in a run. So with Lindor's flyout, make it 5 for 33. Lindor, Brantley, Ramirez, and Encarnacion. Encarnacion does not have an extra base hit against the Royals yet this year.
So I'm going to take the positive angle, shocker, that the pitching's been good. I'm not going to bag the hitters saying they're slumping now. I think you got to credit our young pitchers. Bullpen's been good. They've performed up to their capabilities and what they can do.
Squib foul by Brantley. On the far left, Heath Philmeyer. And he was outstanding last night. He gave up 1 run, 3 hits in 6 innings. And on the far right, Brad Keller in game 1 gave up 2 runs, 6 hits in 5 innings. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The Indians got a little glimpse of Lopez in an interleague game back in May. Pitched 2 innings out of the bullpen for the Brewers, allowing 1 run and striking out 1. And that's stroked into right center field. Alex runs over to cut it off. Brantley takes a wide turn, but he'll hold with a 1-out single.
Yep, 95, top of the zone. Alex, perfect route, good angle. Cut it off before it got to the extra bases.
One on, 1 out to Jose Ramirez. There's a breaking ball in for a strike. Well, even though Lopez gave up a hit, to Brantley on 1 and 2. It was with his fastball, and the Royals wanted him to be more aggressive with his fastball in his second start. He threw just 44% in his Royals debut against the Jays. Dozier runs to the dugout suite and then runs out of room. So they wanted to see more fastballs from a guy who can throw 95, 96. So he picked up that rate on Monday against Tampa Bay and had much better results. Breaking ball is right in there. Ramirez didn't like it, but with the strike zone grid, that was right down the middle. 2 down.
Gary Cederstrom, 35 seasons of umpiring. He's had plenty of these calls right here. That's right there. Are you kidding me? If you don't hack, he'll send you back. Is he 35 years? I was down there
Gary
today.
Cederstrom?
Yeah, I was talking to those guys, and one of his partners said, well, 35 years, because he was putting on his knee brace, and he had a, you know, and so I'm just going without looking. I'm going off of what his partner said, 35, but he's been around a long time. Little knee brace.
1989 was his first game as a big league umpire.
Yep. Good guy, a lot of character. Got to talk to Ramon de Jesus about his calls, you know, talking about him. How energetic they are. Cederstrom popped off and said, you mean youth? Yeah, he's young.
One and one on Edwin Encarnacion. StatCast AI powered by AWS.
No doubt about what he wants to do. Just keep her down.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Mentioned he does not have an extra base hit in 41 at bats against the Royals this year. And in his last 5, he is 1 for 18 against the Royals. And Lopez strikes him out. So he gets Ramirez and Encarnacion to end the top of the first inning.
Drop the hammer. Beauty.
The Royals Royals lineup today against rookie right-hander Shane Bieber. Alex Gordon's in right. Lucas Duda's back at first. Ryan O'Hearn starts in left field today. Alcides Escobar and Brett Phillips are back in the lineup. And Drew Butera catches Jorge Lopez for the first time. And this is Shane Bieber, nicknamed Not Justin, referring to he is not related to Justin Bieber.
That's really good. And so is he, by the way. Okay, left is right today. That means left-handed batters get him. 314 average. Look for one, bust him. Now that Ned has 4 left-handers in his lineup today. No pressure on all just the lefties. The righties might chip in too, but he's got a high number there, and Perez has got something in his eye. So defensively for Cleveland, Michael Brantley's in left field. He spent his entire 14-year career with the Indians. He's played both left field and center field during that time. Roberto Perez, he's getting his eye fixed. He's thrown out 27% of runners. He's a good catch and throw guy. 45th start for him this year.
This is the second time the Royals have seen Shane Bieber outside to Whit Merrifield. Whit had an RBI single in the 3rd inning and an RBI double in the 7th. That was in last night's game. One game after losing a 12-game hitting streak. Down and away, 3 balls and no strikes. Three and one on Whit.
Well, you see his smooth delivery, very nice. Yeah, that ball just kind of rides up there effortlessly. He does so well because he can locate his heater. Puts it where he wants it. A lot of teams were inquiring about Bieber, but the Indians said, you can't have him. We're not trading him.
Hit well. Left center field and gone for a leadoff home run.
On the season, and it was a no-doubter. Man, was that ball powdered. 4-seamer. Talked about how he can locate his heater and put it where he wants it. Not that time. Boy, that's nice. Little top hand takeoff. You know, there's different ways. Some hitters keep both hands on the bat. Whitley has a top hand takeoff. It don't matter when you barrel him like that.
A little bit low to Alex Gordon. That is the 5th time that Whit has led off with a home run. 1-1 on Alex. Alex has 9 home runs this year and still at 169 for his career, tied with Hal McRae for 4th on the all-time list, so 1 home run away from having the 4th spot all to himself. Breaking ball down. 1 ball, 2 strikes. That breaking ball was out over the plate, so he missed again. But this time Bieber gets an out as Gordon flies to Brantley.
Statcast on the homer will show you how far it really did go. I mean, 430 feet. Wow, that's a long ways. See that nice little leg kick there? He's not a big leg kicker. He's not a loader. He doesn't have to. He's got great hands, good level swing, great head position, and he's able to stay through the ball and catch the back underside of it. Get the backspin.
Ball one to Salvador Perez. Witt's home run is the second first inning home run in the series. Salvi hit a 3-run shot on Friday night against Mike Clevenger, giving him 22. 1 ball, 1 strike. Bieber doesn't allow many home runs. That was just his 8th in just under 75 innings this year. He's got Salvi chasing that curve. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Off of Perez glove. Almost sounded like catcher's interference.
Yeah, that's ball bounced straight up. Got him pretty square.
Two and two. A foul tip and a strikeout. 2 down in the first inning. When the Royals faced Bieber the first time, it was July 3rd here, and they also got a first inning home run in that game. And that home run came from Lucas Duda, who digs in with 2 down. Lucas hit a 2-run home run in the first inning against Bieber, who ended up giving up 4 runs in 6 innings. Fastball over the outside, strike 1.
And pitchers, they know who took them deep and who hasn't. And same way with hitters, they know. They remember.
Lucas had 3 hits last night, including a home run. He homered off of Corey Kluber last night, and that's well hit to center field. Allen is back, and he's got it. But the Royals did get a home run. Whit Merrifield leading off against Shane Bieber, and the Royals strike first. along with the Oklahoma City Thunder drummers, Thunder Girls, on Oklahoma City Thunder Day. So we welcome the Thunder and their fans. Thunder games return to Fox Sports Kansas City this October. 1-0 Royals on Whit Merrifield's home run. 0-1 from Lopez to Yonder Alonso, who hit 2 home runs on Friday night. The second of which put the Indians in front in the 8th inning, setting the stage for Ryan O'Hearn and Hunter Dozier hitting back-to-back home runs in the 9th to win it. 2 balls and 1 strike on Alonso. Three and 1. Lopez struck out 2 in the first inning. You got Jose Ramirez looking and Encarnacion swinging. Challenges Alonso. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Well hit left field. First chance for Ryan O'Hearn, and he makes the play. 1 out in the 2nd inning. Let's go down to Joel.
Well, O'Hearn has the nickname Bro Hearn, and Drew Butera on the back of his jersey has the nickname Vito, which is to honor his grandfather. He said he was the rock of their family, raised 5 children, including Drew's dad, Sal. So little tribute to him. And then Drew definitely has the coolest shoes of the weekend. He said he got a pair of white Jeter Jordans, and then on a recent visit to a hospital to visit children that were in the hospital, he had every single kid that he visited with sign his shoes. So kind of a little bit of the reverse. Instead of him signing autographs, they signed his shoes. He said that he had to encourage them, sign it really big, have some fun with it. And he said not all of them were baseball fans, but they all now get a chance to be a part of this Players Weekend.
What a great idea.
Oh man, that is fabulous. But better than that, just the fact that he showed up at a place where a lot of young people hang to get well, and he tried to help them get well by just being there. That means so much to young sick patients. Way to make some time, Drew. Good job.
Trying to get Lopez to settle down after falling behind 3-0. Melky Cabrera reaches on a 4-pitch walk. The Milkmen are here.
They showed up again. Lopez, he's a curveballer now. He's fastball, curve, and a few little changeups and sliders, but mainly those 2 pitches, and they're good. Especially that curve, hard to hit unless it's up.
Low to Jason Kipnis, who is hitting .216 for the season. And 1 out of 32 against the Royals. So they haven't helped out his batting average at all. Into center field, and Phillips into a dive. Did he get it? They're saying no, so the Royals have a force at second base. First base umpire Eric Cooper was calling it a trap.
Third base umpire said it was an out. I don't know if they knew who had what call. So they're gonna honor the trap call by Cooper.
Well, either way, what do you want? If he catches it, you have Cabrera at first with 2 down. If he didn't catch it, you have Kipnis at first with 2 down. So I don't know what you argue here. I'm not sure you'd want to burn a challenge on this, because either way, you have a runner at first with 2 down. Unless Terry Francona's arguing, you know, if it was a trap, and Maybe he's saying I should have runners at first and second with one out, but I don't know where you go with this one.
That's probably what he's trying to argue for.
So Eric Cooper was right, and he had the best angle. Third base umpire Stu Sherwater, he's looking from left to right. Cooper's at first, so he had a really good look right to left.
Well, I mean, from that angle there, you couldn't tell it bounced, but that's a great effort anyway. Phillips, we've seen him make several catches from center on line drives that are sinking in front of him with topspin. So, excellent trap anyway to keep it in front of him.
So it's an 8-6 force out. Kipnis loses a hit. So he is 1 out of 33 against the Royals this season. And now the catcher, Roberto Perez. Oh, 0-2. Perez, a good defensive catcher, but he's had a really down year, hitting 156, 8 RBIs. One and two. That's well hit to right field. Alex Gordon is back to the track, and he's got it. So he made the adjustment, moving from left to right, literally. So Lopez gets some help from his defense, and the Indians are scoreless in the second.
Bottom of the second inning, Royals gonna hang it on here 1-0. Alex Gordon, no matter where you put him, he's going to show you some athleticism. Now look at that. He's able to reverse his pivot and turn around and not lose sight of the ball. That was a tough play, and he made that adjustment look easy, keeping his eye on the ball, just contorting his lower half, twisting it the way that he never lost sight of it.
All those Gold Gloves. It's easy to forget that Alex made his outfield debut for the Royals in right field at Yankee Stadium, and on his first chance he made an error. And I think that's the last error he's ever made in the outfield. Well, maybe not.
That's pretty impressive. I bet if you put him at third base tomorrow, he would play flawless defense there too. I've seen him several times this season before batting practice taking ground balls at shortstop.
Hunter Dozier's down on 3 pitches. That's Bieber's second strikeout. If the Royals hit a triple in today's game, the Kansas City Honda dealers will make a $1,000 donation to the KC Urban Youth Academy. And now Ryan O'Hearn. All right, here are the impressive numbers for his short career. 15 RBIs in 18 games. First Royal since Mark Quinn to accomplish that. That was 19 years ago. Mark Quinn had 18 RBIs in his first 18 games. O'Hearn has 8 games with an extra base hit, the most since Mike Aviles had 10 over his first 18 games 10 years ago. Gosh, 10 years already. Mike Aviles had that impressive rookie season.
O'Hearn, he's definitely making the most of his opportunities.
That fastball had really good late movement. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And Bieber's way over on that first base side of the rubber, which will help him get in on left-hand batters. Caught looking, so back-to-back strikeouts, 1 swinging, 1 looking, and 2 down in the second inning.
Oh man, that's right down there in the bottom corner. Cedarstrom behind the plate. You can hear him. He's got a nice little ring up call. I said 35 years, actually 24 in the majors. The other was minor league time. Still a lot of long life dedicated umpires, no question. That's what they do. They leave school, they want to become an umpire, and you got to pay your dues. It's like anything else.
Alcides Escobar is hitting .211, but .304 this month. And this is his first appearance in the series. Ned Yost with Adalberto Mondesi with still a slight hamstring issue, which kept him out of the lineup 3 times in Tampa Bay. Sees the opportunity to give him today off, and then with the day off tomorrow, have back-to-back days off. He had a few wow moments again last night. That's a fair ball inside the left field line. So Eske continues to pick it up in August. He is at second base with 2 down.
19th double, a beauty. He tried to run that heater in, and Eske was quick with his hands, barreled it. Way to get the head out there. That's exactly what you try to do. Get that barrel head out on inside pitches like that. It sounded clean, and it didn't have time to hook. Foul. You don't want him to go foul.
And now Brett Phillips with a runner in scoring position. And he is due. He is 0 for his last 19. His nickname Maverick is his middle name. And they play Kenny Loggins' Danger Zone from Top Gun when he comes to the plate.
That's nice. Would be big confident builder if he could knock in a run here with 2 outs. He's going to have to work on that swing. He's got a lot of work to do to become a regular big league hitter. He's got a lot of, so far he's shown a lot of holes. A lot of teams trying to get him out up. Some of them have had a lot of success doing that, and they've pretty much just stayed up in the zone with hard stuff, trying to get him to level off his swing.
Got him with a breaking ball, so Bieber ends up striking out the side and works around Eski's 2-out double. T-Mobile, and in Detroit, the Tigers retired Alan Trammell's #3 after he was inducted into the Hall of Fame, and then appropriately throughout the first pitch to Lou Whitaker, his longtime double play partner.
They were great together.
I always felt bad for Alan Trammell because he was such a good player, an icon in Detroit, fringe, at least as far as the sports writers go, Hall of Famer. And then he also went back to manage and just happened to be the manager that year that the Tigers lost 119 games. And the fans there wanted a change. He took a lot of the blame for that bad year. And finally there was a change. Jim Leyland came on and got them back to the World Series in 2006. So nice to see him back in Detroit getting some love.
That's right. He's even a better human being. Happy to hear to see he got in the Hall of Fame too. National Hall of Fame.
#9 hitter Greg Allen. We were talking last night about how oftentimes that's a second leadoff hitter, and he's been leading off a lot in this series. He pulls it on the ground to Witt. 1 away. So the Indians had just 1 hit first time through the order against Jorge Lopez. Refreshing saves from Price Chopper and Aquafina. Just sign up at mypricechopper.com/saves to save on Aquafina when the Royals get a save. Francisco Lindor opened the game with a fly ball to right field. The Royals have held him to 1 for 10 in the series. Phillips into right center. Now the ball carries on him, but he makes the adjustment and runs it down.
Interesting route there to that catch. Now you out there, you can't afford to take more than a straight line angle, but right here, whoa, watch this. Look at him. He's whoa, that's an interesting route. But you hear us talk about speed makes up for a lot of mistakes when you get a bad break. He got there, no problem. All right, thank you. Keep Lindor down. Keep him off the bases.
And now Brantley didn't get a very good swing.
What an inning.
3 up, 3 down on 8 pitches. And Lopez gets his defense off the field. 1-0 Royals. Coach who created the Reds triathlon team, which has inspired men and women to participate in sports for over 15 years, creating a community of athletes with the goal of supporting one another. Always known to be one of the most positive and inspirational women at every race, and she's sitting in the Buck O'Neil legacy seat at today's game.
Way to go, Liz. Need more athletes out there. Way to help them.
Drew Butera's in there. He hasn't gotten a lot of playing time. He had just 3 at-bats on the entire road trip, and this is his first appearance in this series. Drew can get a lot of perspective about being a backup catcher from his father. We were just talking about Alan Trammell going or having his number retired by the Tigers. Lance Parrish, who caught for the Tigers, was one of the catchers that Drew's father Sal backed up for. He backed up some good ones. Lance Parrish, Gary Carter, Butch Weiniger, and Drew, among others, has backed up Salvador Perez and Joe Mauer when Mauer was a Gold Glove catcher. And those guys play a lot, so sometimes that means very little playing time for Drew, but that just comes with the job. There's Sal, works with the Blue Jays organization. We've got a chance to see a lot of him over the last week to 10 days.
He's got to be extremely proud of Drew, and not just for being a big leaguer like he was, but for what he does in communities he plays in. He's a giver.
Drew must have gotten his great hair from his mother.
Yes. Yeah. I think Sal would agree with that. Although he might.
Sal told me that.
Oh, perfect then. Although he'll turn back the
I don't
page.
want Sal looking for me.
No, he'd say, I'm going to turn back the page. I probably had a pretty good weave going there. That ball's carrying out there.
And it's Allen making the play with Melky Cabrera. And Witt is 0 for 2 after leading off the first with a home run.
As you enjoy a Miller Lite, look forward to the Hold True moment later in today's game.
Alex Gordon flied out to left field in the first inning. One and 0. One ball, one strike. Players not only get to pick the nickname on the back of their jerseys, but on their right sleeve they get to say thank you to someone or a group of people in particular. And Alex says thank you to his mom, Leslie. Sweet, sweet lady.
And that's the Players Alumni Association logo.
Or like Shane Bieber, just thanking his whole family. Two and two. Leslie raised 4 boys. Fastball's taken for a strike. So Bieber opened his outing giving up a home run to Whit Merrifield, but now he's set down 9 of the last 10. Jorge Lopez has held the Indians to 1 hit. He's also walked a batter in his first 3 innings. It'll be Jose Ramirez, Edwin Encarnacion, and Yonder Alonso in the 4th inning. Ramirez took a called third strike on a curveball in the first. One of 2 Lopez strikeouts today. Pitch just like that one. 1 ball, 1 strike. A high changeup. 1-2. Lopez is a quick worker, and he got him to chase a breaking ball in the dirt.
Wow.
Ramirez has struck out twice. 1 down in the 4th. Let's go to Joel.
Well, Oklahoma City Thunder Day and a chance to visit with Abdul Nader, who you may remember, Big 12 fans, from being at Iowa State and just traded over from the Celtics to the Thunder. How exciting for you to be here in Kansas City.
I'm super excited. You know, it's Oklahoma City Day here, and it's exciting. Got to throw a first pitch. I think I did a decent job, so it's just been a blast. Just enjoying the day. Yeah, I think we're going to show that first pitch. Can you analyze? Now, I know you did not grow up a baseball player. No, I definitely didn't. But I practiced the past couple of days. One of my buddies who was a baseball player was trying to give me pointers and show me how to do it. So, but when I got to the mound, you know, you don't really realize how far it is till you get there. Like, I had no idea it was that far. So, but like I said, it was fun. So what about for you? Born in Egypt, grew up in Chicago, Northern Illinois, Iowa State. So you're familiar kind of with this part of the country. What does it mean to be back closer to home, at least in Oklahoma City? Oh, I love the Midwest. I mean, brutal winters, hot summers, but that's what it's all about, man. I love being in Kansas. It's like the second, it's like Hilton South down here. I don't know if you guys know that terminology or not, but yeah, I love it down here, and I love the Midwest. So we have many a times for those Big 12 tournaments to see the way Iowa State fans converge on Kansas City. So that's got to make you feel a little bit at home. Yeah, definitely. And like I said, we used to come down here for the tournaments and the Big 12 tournaments. So. Last thing, how about your Oklahoma City Thunder? What do you know about your new team, your new teammates? What are the expectations? I mean, I basically met everybody at this point, and really high character guys, you know, just everybody's the locker room guy, the good guys. Everybody wants to be, it seems like everybody's on the same page, everybody wants to win, so I'm looking forward to getting started, being able to practice with these guys. We are looking forward to watching you and the Thunder this year. Abdul, thanks so much for coming out here. Appreciate it. Appreciate you. All right, there you go. Go Royals, and I'm sure for our director, Steve Kurtenbach, we could say, go Cyclones.
Proud Cyclone, Steve Kurtenbach. Chop toward third and foul. 3 balls, 2 strikes on Edwin Encarnacion. He struck out his first time up against Lopez. And similar to the strikeout that Jorge got against Ramirez, he got Encarnacion to chase a bad one in the dirt. He is on with a walk. That's Lopez second. Yonder Alonso with 1 on, 1 out. He flied out to left field in the second inning on the first chance in the big leagues for Ryan O'Hearn in the outfield. Among other things, when Ned Yost was talking about Ryan O'Hearn in the outfield, he wanted his bat in there. Ryan has played quite a bit in the minor leagues in the outfield, and the Royals are going to see a left-hander on Tuesday as they begin a 2-game series with the Tigers. And so with a day off tomorrow, Ned didn't want to be in a position where any of his left-hand batters would end up with 3 games off or 3 days off.
Extremely versatile, though. Ned has a lot of players that play a lot of different positions. He has just 3 in the lineup today that are pretty much structured where they play. Salvi, Duda, and Drew Butera, but everybody else play multiple positions. They're going to find out a lot from the evaluating these players this season, but they'll also figure out who can be their utility guy in the future. Yeah, a lot of them.
Alonso drives it to right center field, and Alex cuts it off deep. So Encarnacion has to hold it third, and now a play at second, but Alonso beats the throw. Adalberto Mondesi, he is not. And the Royals almost got an out at second base.
Too bad, because that was an excellent relay. Good angle by Gordon. Cuts it off before the wall. Eske, we've seen this a lot. Ooh, his foot was late to get on the base. Let's see. See, it stays up. Yeah, he beat it. Oh, now Lopez have to make a pitch on a pretty good hitter. Melky 237 with a runner in scoring position this year, but overall he's normally up near 300.
Checked his swing on a breaking ball, and the Indians have no speed on the bases right now, so the Royals don't really have to do anything with their infield. And it's a base hit to right. Encarnacion scores to tie the game. Alonso stops at third.
Mo Lottery replay. Hanging breaking ball. Stayed up above the knees. Runner in scoring position. Can't get by with a pitch like that to a professional hitter.
And he had thrown that same pitch the pitch before, so Melky got a good look at it.
Yep.
Jason Kipnis with runners at first and third, out on an 8-6 fielder's choice in the second inning. He had a line drive to center, and Brett Phillips came charging in and trapped the ball. But Melky Cabrera, who was at first base, as he is right now, he thought that Phillips caught it, so he started going back to first. First base umpire Eric Cooper said no catch, and so the Royals threw to second base and got the out. And Kipnis lost a hit. He could really use one in a 2-16 season.
Yep, that's a little bit of hard luck right there.
Two and one. Lopez is right at 60 pitches. Pitch count was an issue for him Monday at Tampa Bay. He allowed just one run in 5 innings, but he threw 95 pitches. Kipnis back to the middle, and the Indians take the lead. Alonso jogs down from third. And for Jason Kipnis, that's his second hit all year against the Royals.
Located again right there. Watch out. Short, compact swing on a pitch that was going to get hit hard, especially in a situation like that with a runner in scoring position. That's back-to-back hitters' mistakes.
The inning started with a strikeout against Jose Ramirez. And Encarnacion walked. Alonso doubled. Cabrera singled in a run. And now Kipnis has driven in a run.
Come out to the K for our last T-shirt Tuesday of the season. On Tuesday, this shirt will honor Royals Hall of Famer Denny Matthews in his 50 seasons of radio broadcasting. First 10,000 fans through the gates will receive the shirt before cheering on the Royals as they host the Tigers at 7:15.
A handful of guys in not just Kansas City sports history, but Kansas City history period, that all you have to do is say his first name and you know exactly who everyone's talking about. And the t-shirt reflects that. First and second, 1 out to Roberto Perez. Perez drove Alex Gordon to the warning track in right field in the second inning. It's interesting that the Indians lead the major leagues in stolen bases, and yet they have some really slow guys in their lineup as well. I mean, it is not a collection of rabbits, that's for sure.
Nope. They got 4 guys that do the running.
Two and one on Perez.
Tomorrow will be the Tribe's 130th game. And the issues they're going to have in postseason are going to be bullpen issues. And I know that they're going to try to do all they can to try to fix that. Starting pitching's pretty good. You know, I like Beaver. This kid Beaver looks like he could be a guy they might want to use. Gino Kluber, they'll be tough, but that bullpen, they're going to have to figure out what they want to do, especially at the back end.
Three balls, one strike.
Cody Allen, his fastball, you know, he's not 95 or above. He's right below 95, and he's been around. The guy's got to know him. 2-pitch pitcher. It's like, you know, if you don't hit your spots, and you don't have that extra cheddar, you can get hit, just like we showed in game 1. Miller, they're hoping he gets back into form. They like Brad Hand. He's a lefty.
Three and two on Perez. That is inside for a walk, and they're loaded up with 1 out.
Lopez is showing a little bit of frustration physically now. Snapped at the ball, thrown back to him by Butera. Until he's a little bit frustrating. But we'll try to contain your emotions because the opponent sees that. And Allen, he's going to be looking for something in the middle.
He grounded out to Merrifield in the 3rd inning. Strike 1 on Greg Allen. Lopez struck out Jose Ramirez to start this inning, and now 5 in a row have reached. 2 have scored to give the Indians a lead. Cabrera's at 3rd, Kipnis is at 2nd, Perez is at 1st. And Allen drops one up the left field line. That's going to slice and a long way away from O'Hearn, so a couple of runs will score easily. Perez goes to 3rd. Allen has a double, and now it's a 4-run 4th inning.
Little cue shot. That ball was not in the middle of the plate, but it seems like they're just got a little confidence going in their lineup here.
And here's Francisco Lindor with runners at second and third and the infield in. That goes up into the screen, and a wild pitch makes it a 5-run inning. Perez scores. Allen goes to third.
You know, a lot of the young rookie pitchers for the Royals have done a great job this year of containing their emotions. But when you don't, now the opposition sees that you're frustrated. Everyone knows it, and they call that losing it. And that's kind of what he's doing in this inning here. He's lost his composure a little bit. It's not real bad, but it's certainly noticeable. If I can see it, the hitters see it.
2-0 on Lindor, who is 0 for 2. And 1 for 11 in the series, which is not necessarily a good thing. Two balls, one strike.
Did you see those overall numbers? I don't think Francona is too concerned about this young man here. He's got great numbers, and I think they're doing a good job of pitching. The Royals are doing. He's missing some pitches that he normally drives out of the park. They're off the end of the bat, or they're kind of in on his barrel. I mean, they've done a nice job.
Here's Bert Smith getting loose in the Royals bullpen. Hello. Lindor strikes out.
Now, you don't see that hardly at all with a runner at third base, less than 2, and he can't get him home. A little bit of over anxiousness.
That's 4 for Lopez. And now the 9th man to come up, Michael Brantley, with Allen at third, 2 down. Brantley has singled and grounded out. Telling you last night that Brantley has the lowest swing and miss percentage in the major leagues, and yet he struck out swinging twice last night. Breaking balls in for a strike, 1-1. That'll be back into the crowd. So for Lopez, a strikeout, and then 6 reached in a row, and then another strikeout. And 5 have scored in the 4th inning. Outside, and this will be the 40th pitch of the inning. Now, when you're talking about 20 pitches in an inning, that's a lot. 20 or more is a high pitch inning, and this will be pitch number 40 in this 5-run 4th inning.
Yep. You got that second out. Ned's going to let him finish if he can.
On the ground to Witt, who gets a nice big hop, and that'll do it. The Indians bat 9 and score 5. Brought to you by Ford. Going further so you can. And by Pizza Ranch. Hungry for legendary pizza and chicken? It's Pizza Ranch for the win. Classic car show at Kauffman Stadium today. Some of the finalists had a chance to drive onto the field before the game today. Shane Bieber allowed a home run to the first man he faced today, Whit Merrifield. But since then, he has set down 9 of 10 Royals, and his offense just gave him 5 runs. And now he throws a strike to Salvador Perez, whom he struck out in the first inning. Bieber has struck out 4. Oh, 2. Fastball out over the plate is crushed, and Salvador Perez goes into the water for his 23rd of the year.
Ooh, that's the way to lead off the inning. I mean, to tell you, remember the drop, how loud the sound was when the ball hit the bat? That was almost as loud. Man, oh man, what a nice sky high hit home run. I mean, that ball was stayed up in the air a long time and went pretty far.
Lucas Duda pulls it foul. Well, so much for Salvi not getting any time off during the All-Star break. He's really picked it up since the All-Star break. Batting average, slugging percentage. I still wonder, you know, he was having a down year in the first half, and he was still named to the All-Star team by his peers. And I got to think that even as accomplished as he is, as decorated as he is, that just had to be a huge lift emotionally, that his peers would look beyond his numbers. Duda's down on strikes. They wanted him on the team. He was not going to be the starter, but when Wilson Ramos was injured, he became the starter.
It was a no-doubter. He knew for sure. That's 2 home runs that were hit today that both hitters knew. Witt's was 430. Salvi's 435. Great balance. Finishing strong, standing upright. A lot of leverage against that with that front side. That's where a lot of your power comes from, is the legs, no doubt.
Dozier struck out swinging in the second inning on a breaking ball, similar to the one that Bieber just threw. That breaking ball is pulled on the ground to Lindor at short. He throws off balance and in time, 2 down.
Friday nights are best spent at the K with Buck Night and summer fireworks. Come out every Friday home game during the summer. Enjoy hot dogs and peanuts for just $1. Stay after the game for a fireworks spectacular right from your seats. Join us for our next Buck Night. And Friday nights, fireworks Friday night is August 31st when the Royals host the Indians at 7:15. Tickets available now at Royals.com.
Ryan O'Hearn was down on strikes. First time up. 0-2. If it seems like Bieber's getting a lot of swings on his breaking ball and a lot of swings and misses on his breaking ball, he is among the top 10 in both of those categories, swings and misses. He'll underhand over to Alonso, and that's the inning. Royals get another leadoff home run. It was Merrifield in the first, and now Salvador Perez in the fourth to make it a 5-2 game. And today with 3 innings and 1 hit, and he gave up 5 in the fourth. That's almost a carbon copy of what Heath Fillmyer did 2 starts ago in Chicago, when he had 3 innings, 1 hit, and then Chicago scored 6. But Heath was able to shake that off last night, giving up just 1 run in 6 innings. So that's what Jorge can look forward to with his next start.
Yep. Growing pains.
Bert Smith is a Chevy call to the bullpen. He'll get Ramirez, Encarnacion, and Alonso.
Birch had some growing pains of his own earlier this season in the rotation, but he's still here. He's in the bullpen. He's got good stuff. Good arm. Mid-90s fastball, overhand curve changeup.
Don't tell Jose Ramirez that Jorge Lopez had a bad day. Jorge struck him out twice. Looking in the first inning and swinging in the fourth. Drilled to center field. Phillips is on it, and he's got it. 1 out. Let's check in with Joel.
All right, some good news in our University of Kansas Health System injury report. Ian Kennedy, just talking to him yesterday and to head trainer Nick Kenny, they said that he'll make his first rehab start Wednesday with Omaha, and that should be about 4 innings, 60-65 pitches. If all goes well, he'd make a second start the following Monday on Labor Day. Also, I'm told that Jorge Soler, good chance that he could go out later this week on a rehab assignment. They'll be focusing on DH and just trying to get him back in a groove from a hitting standpoint. Also had the chance on Price Chopper Royals Live to visit with the play-by-play voice of the Omaha Storm Chasers, Ryan's good friend, all of our good friend, Mark Nasser, and some good reports there from him. Enjoyed visiting with him and Frank Schwindel, another great season. Nicky Lopez progressing. Trevor Oakes has been one of the best pitchers in the PCL, so we've had a good time visiting with some of these minor league broadcasters throughout the last few days.
That's been nice, and using technology where we can check in by way of FaceTime. And we get to hear about the Class A Lexington team, AA Northwest Arkansas, and AAA Omaha earlier today. As we approach the final 30 games of the regular season, it's very easy to start looking down the road and wonder what players are on their way to Kansas City, either in the long term or the near term.
It was really fresh. It's nice to hear some of that news from some of the guys who and girls who call the game.
Encarnacion continues to struggle against the Royals. 2 up, 2 down for Bert Smith in the 5th inning.
Bert Smith, he's coming at you. You know, he kind of pushes behind the ball a little bit. There's some good little tailing action to it. Blew it by him.
Joel was mentioning Jorge Soler, and he was running the bases before the game today, and Ned Yost was asked about him quite a bit in detail when he met with the media today, and the question being, how important is it for Soler to get some more at bats before the season is over? Meaning, was he able to prove to himself before he broke his foot that he belongs here, and was that enough of an accomplishment, or did he need more at bats? Ned Yost said it was important, maybe not the most important thing in the world, and he also hinted that if he does come back, that probably won't be playing much in the outfield, getting at bats as the designated hitter. Just to, I think the last thing you want to do coming off a broken foot is be standing around for 9 innings in the outfield.
And plus the fact that Ned has a plethora of outfielders. You know, Goodwin, I'm wondering when he'll be back. They got some players. Bonifacio, Herrera, they got a lot of outfielders, so it's a good spot for him. Good pitch there.
3 up, 3 down with 2 strikeouts in Bert Smith's 1st inning. Stream live on your mobile device. Download the Fox Sports Go app, log in, and stream the Royals. Alcides Escobar has one of the Royals' 3 hits against Shane Bieber. All are extra base hits. Merrifield is homered, Perez is homered, and Eske has a double. One ball, 1 strike. Bieber allowed a home run to his first batter with Merrifield and is settled in to set down 12 of the last 14 Royals. And now he's ahead of Escobar. 1 ball, 2 strikes. On the ground to third, and it's off of Ramirez's glove. Escobar's on with an error.
Eighth error on Ramirez, and he just let this ball play him. He wasn't moving his feet. You know, he looks like he could be a little bit tired right now. I mean, his bat's missing pitches he normally doesn't miss, and it'll be up to Francona to give him a breather, you know, here or there. They're going back home, long homestand. He'll come back to life with his bat.
Phillips grounds one into right field, and he needed that. That snaps an 0 for 20. It's also the first hit for a left-hand batter against Shane Bieber today, and that was one of your keys.
Yeah, and the right-handers are pulling the weight. Interesting. He'll take it though. Yeah, that's fastball down. He can hit those. Good to find the hole.
And now the Indians are suspicious, I think that's the word, of a bunt, but they're not necessarily committed to it, with the Royals down by 3. And Drew Butera swings and misses, so now Alonso at first and Ramirez at third, back up a few steps.
Yeah, Drew has that ability to move runners, and he was guessing fastball there. Good breaking pitch.
Up the middle to Lindor. Kipnis 1, Alonso 2. Escobar goes to third.
Fans, the most popular design of the 90s is making a return with the season's Royals Zubaz Palooza shirt. Enjoying a Royals raglan style shirt, including Zuba sleeves, with your theme ticket Friday, August 31st. Purchase your theme ticket now at royals.com/theme tickets.
Runner at third, 2 down for Whit Merrifield. Breaking ball for a strike. Whit has homered and flied to center field. That was Whit's 10th home run of the year. You know, to his credit, Whit had never hit more than 10 home runs in any season of his professional career. And then last year, he had 22, 19 with the Royals, 3 in Omaha, but he did not get carried away with that statistic this year. He did not, like a lot of young players, say, oh, watch me this year, I'm going to hit 25, and then they end up hitting 6 and batting .240.
Yeah, I think he understands who he is, for sure. He knows he is a on-base guy. Line to line, going to get a few, run into a few accidents. He's good if he calls them accidents, because you just want to stay on that ball. A home run's a byproduct of a good swing is really all it is. He's got plenty of those. 430-foot shot he hit there in first to lead off. Did you say it was his career 5th leadoff home run?
Yes.
It's awesome. Anytime you can start the game 1-0 for your pitcher, it's beautiful.
Caught a lot of topspin on it and right to Brantley to end the inning. So an error and a single, but the double play was big for Bieber. 5-2 Cleveland. have hit 2 home runs today for their only 2 runs. And the Indians have all 5 of theirs in the 4th inning. All those runs are charged to Jorge Lopez. Bert Smith took over in the 5th and retired the Indians in order with a couple of strikeouts. And he'll get Cabrera, Kipnis, and Perez in the 6th. 1-1 on Melky, who was walked, singled, drove in a run and scored a run. And even though he's wearing the opposing team's uniform, he still has his fan club here today. And now he's on for a 3rd time. So I don't know if they're Royals fans or Indians fans or White Sox fans or Yankees fans, but they are Milkmen fans.
It's great they're here.
I think he was just waving at them. They and you can help us celebrate Hispanic heritage with Viva Los Reales. That's next Saturday, September 1st, and the first 10,000 fans through the gates receive a Los Reales cap, courtesy of Minute Mart. And don't miss the opportunity to vote for your favorite dip in the Salsa Showdown. It's at the Outfield Experience after the gates open at 4:30. So you get the cap and you get the Salsa Showdown. Gates open at 4:30. The first pitch is at 6:15 next Saturday.
Nope.
2-0 on Jason Kipnis, who lost a hit on a diving trap by Phillips in the 2nd inning, which resulted in a force out, and then did get a hit and an RBI and a run scored in the 4-run 5th inning. And prior to that, Jason Kipnis had been 1 for 33 against the Royals this year.
Mm.
Three and 1.
Oops. I think that Lucas Duda, it startled him, that throw there. They weren't ready. Melky wasn't even off the base yet.
And that's blooped to left. Cabrera stops at second base. So Kipnis, after that long slump against the Royals, is 2 for his last 2. And that'll bring up Roberto Perez. He walked and scored on a wild pitch in the 5-run 4th inning. And now he bunts. Birch will play it to first. So the sacrifice gets Cabrera to third and Kipnis to second.
We've seen him do that a lot. He's a good bunter. Roberto Perez.
The Royals will bring the infield in on Greg Allen. Little bit low. Drew Butera hesitated before returning the ball to Bert Smith, thinking that would be called a strike. Allen grounded out in the 3rd and then hit a 2-run double up the left field line in the 4th. That's a strike. 1-1. Two and 1. back into the crowd. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Cleveland Indians traded for, or rather drafted Bert Smith twice. They drafted him out of high school. They drafted him out of junior college. He then transferred to Oklahoma and signed with the Padres. Infield in, ground ball to Merrifield. Melky's not going anywhere. So the Royals got what they wanted, a ground ball, and Cabrera holding at third and 2 down. How many guys have been drafted 3 times in their career? Bert Smith twice by the Indians, so they at one point saw him pitching in the big league someday.
He's got a nice arm, and I think there's a fit for him in the bullpens somewhere. Could be a starter again. I don't know if they'll give him that other opportunity, but certainly stuff plays.
He is a Rule 5 pick, so you have to have realistic expectations in a year like that. And he also missed about 3.5 years because of an elbow injury. 1 ball, 1 strike on Lindor.
Yeah, he's had a lot of issues. I mean, you know, he's persevered, worked through his problems. Most guys do. To get here, you have to work hard and you have to handle a lot of failure. Go through some issues like that. A lady approached me last night in the parking lot and asked me what was a Rule 5. We've talked a lot about that this year. She didn't understand it. And I told her, Major League roster, you got 40 guys you can protect out of all your minor league and all that. And some guys get to a point where you got to make a decision on them. Are you going to protect them or not? And those that don't, they leave them off the roster, and other teams can pay money and get them. Right? How much do they have to pay to get them? 25?
I think it's 100,000 now.
Okay. You can pay and you can get them, but that player has to stay on the big league roster, the 25-man roster, that next year, the whole year, right? And then if he doesn't work out, then they have to give him back. That's what I said to her. Was that accurate? Pretty close.
But the Major League Rule 5, yeah, you have to keep him in the big leagues. There's also a minor league Rule 5, but you can offer the player back. You don't have to necessarily give him back, because the team would have to refund half the money to take the player back. Sometimes the teams will work out a trade.
Okay.
2 balls, 2 strikes. We were just talking about a player this past week, the name escapes me, who went from one team to another in the minor league Rule 5 draft.
Yeah, I remember you talked about it.
Still 2 balls, 2 strikes. The trick is, if you have players that you can't protect, and you have a certain window when a player gets to your organization, you have a certain amount of years where you don't have to protect them, and then that time expires, and if they're on the 40-man roster, they're protected. If they're not, then they're subject to the Rule 5. But the trick is to figure out a player that might be attractive to another team that is not on your 40-man roster, and you put him on your AAA roster, because if he's drafted, he has to go to the next level. So even though Brad Keller last year only pitched at AA with the Diamondbacks, they knew he was a Rule 5 candidate, so they put him on the AAA roster. If they had left him on the AA roster, well, then the Royals could have taken him, and all he would have to do is pitch at AAA all year.
Yep, that's the key. Then that way, the team that gets him says, "Man, we got to make room for him on our 25-man roster."
Yep.
And that's a big step for a lot of unproven players.
And sometimes it, it's a natural for Keller, because he played at AA last year, to put him on the AAA roster. But sometimes it's a player that's never played above A ball.
Right. So you wonder, why we're seeing it more and more. I mean, every year there's teams and guys, most of them stick. Oh man, good try by Lucas.
And that'll give the Indians 2 more runs. So Francisco Lindor gets an RBI hit in this series, but it comes in the 6th inning of Game 3. And now the Indians have their biggest lead of the day, 7-2. Well, you look at it this way. Why you do a Rule 5 player? Would you rather go out now? By the time the player is subject to the Rule 5, they've been in professional baseball for a few years, so they're somewhat of a proven commodity. You have an idea of how they can pitch at the professional level or hit with a wooden bat in their hands.
Track record.
So would you rather go out, which I think would be the equivalent of like a 1st or 2nd round pick? I mean, if Bert Smith or Brad Keller were a senior in high school or a junior in college, they'd be 1st round picks. So do you want to spend $6 or $7 million on someone who hasn't played 1 game of professional baseball, or do you want to spend $100,000 on a guy who's developed somewhat of a track record, with the catch being they have to spend that first season in the big leagues, and then next year the Royals can move Bert Smith and Brad Keller up and down as much as they'd like? That's the way Art Stewart always explained it to me. He'd say, Ryan, this is like getting a 1st round pick for $50,000 back when it was 50,000. Pretty sure it's 100,000 now, and then you can offer the player back and get half the money in return. Brantley hits it into left center field.
Well, thank you for that, because I hope the lady and her husband are listening today and they got a little better idea about Rule 5, because we've been saying it a lot this year. A lot of stuff on the business side of baseball that escapes you. Can you just like to watch the game and see what's going on? There's a lot of rules. Get out of this inning here. Pop up, ground ball right at somebody.
That was Brantley's 2nd hit today. Jose Ramirez is 0 for 3. 2 balls and no strikes. You know, getting back to Bert Smith, not only is he a Rule 5 guy, he only pitched in 13 games all of last year after missing the equivalent of 3 seasons. Witt backhands and throws out Ramirez, so he's 0 for 4. But if teammates have picked him up today, the Indians lead 7-2 to the bottom of the 6th. for Shane Bieber. He's given up 2 runs on solo home runs over his 5 innings. He's gotten a lot of run support. At one point, he set down 12 of 14 Royals. And he'll get Alex Gordon, Salvador Perez, and Lucas Duda in our Sonic Slam inning. Our contestant is Carol McMurphy from Warrensburg. Jackpot today is $100 if the Royals hit a home run out of the park. Lucas Duda's home run was worth $700 last night. If the Royals hit a grand slam, Carol wins 25 grand from Sonic and the Royals. That's up the right field line and fair, right on the line. Alex Gordon stops at second base with a leadoff double. He is 1 for 3 today.
Well, just like we promised, it's time for the Miller Hold True moment. Salvador Perez. Man, did he hit a long home run here. 435 feet. His 23rd on the season. It was a no-doubter and put it in the hydration station.
No balls, 1 strike. One and one. Salvi wiping the sweat off of his eyes, and if you just glance around the field and watch the base coaches, the umpires, and the Indians on defense, after every pitch, somebody's wiping some sweat off of their hands or their face. It is 91 degrees, but it is a steamy 91 degrees. Trying to see what the humidity is. 55%. The barometric pressure, HUD, is 29.9, just in case you're scoring at home.
Thank you.
Yeah. That's one I've never understood. The barometric pressure is always 29 point something. So I guess it's a big deal, you know, between when you say 29.7. Whoa, man.
Well, they say that that has something to do with your achy knees or hips or something like that, don't they? The barometric pressure.
Salvi's down on strikes. Steve Kurtenbach, who is from Iowa, and so from a farming community, always had to know about the weather. He's a pilot, so he's up to date with all the important weather numbers. 29.92 is average.
Okay.
So
it's pretty humid, pretty sticky, right?
it's going to be 94 tomorrow, 92 on Tuesday, 79 for a high on Wednesday. And then the Royals will not see a day in the 90s for the remainder of the homestand. Lucas Duda has lined to center and struck out. The left-hander Oliver Perez and the righty Adam Simber, whom we haven't seen yet. He came over with Brad Hand in a trade with the Padres. And Perez looks slightly annoyed as he gets out of his crouch and jogs out to have a word with Bieber. This is one of those days where the longer this day goes, and it's late August, and the Royals, remember, they landed at 1:30 in the morning on Friday. It hasn't affected them Friday or Saturday, but they're going to pay the bill for that late arrival at some point. But this is one of those days that you really need the game to move along, because the longer this game goes, the more fatigue the guys are going to feel, the more their concentration is going to fade.
I agree.
1 ball, 1 strike. I've seen many games here where it's a pretty well played game for about 5, 6, maybe 7 innings, and then the next thing you know, it's 13-9. So Perez might have gone out there and said, hey, let's pick it up, man. We got a 5-run lead. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Duda.
That's important and good that he did that.
And I think we brought this up last night that, you know, most of the time when a pitcher is working slow, they don't realize it. And it doesn't take a selfish pitcher, just kind of get in his own little world on the mound. And sometimes you need a little reminder. Hey, come on, we have a 5-run lead. Pick up the pace. Throw strikes. And Lucas Duda says, thank you very much. A 2-run shot to right field. It is 7-4. And for the second game in a row, the Royals hit a home run in the Sonic Slam inning. Congratulations to Carol McMurphy.
Man, I'll tell you what, now that's a hanger. You hang that around the belt, professional hitter like Duda, he's not going to miss it. Back underside as that ball's rotating, has overspin on it. And when you hit that back underside, that ball just takes off. It's 13.
So the Royals make it a 3-run game. Oliver Perez is a Chevy call to the bullpen. Well, Shane Bieber qualifies for the win, but that's not what he had in mind with a big lead. 7-2 going into the bottom of the 6th inning, and now he's taken out after only getting 1 out. And Terry Francona has to go to his bullpen and brings on Oliver Perez, who came on in relief of Corey Kluber in the 6th inning last night, and immediately got a ground ball double play to get out of the inning. Today he comes on with 1 out and nobody on. Dozier hits it well to right field. Melky Cabrera goes back with the ball carrying. 2 outs.
Ollie, he did his little best Louis Tion imitation there, turning his back to the hitter. He's very different with his angles, arm angles, his turns. Watch him as he completely turns his back. Can't pick up the ball, can't see it, hides the ball very well. Still got a decent fastball, low 90s, slider, curve, change. He's got a bunch of different angles and quirkiness about him that makes him tough to pick up. See, there's a little hesitation there.
And then a grunt to go with it. Ryan O'Hearn is 0 for 2. And with Ryan at the plate, let's check out our sprint trivia question for today. Who holds the Royals record for most RBI in a season playing fewer than 50 games? Yikes. 3 pitches. And Perez strikes out O'Hearn to end the inning. But Lucas Duda hits a 2-run home run. And at the end of 6, now the Indians lead is 7-4. Royals trail in the 7th inning thanks to a Lucas Duda 2-run home run. These are Pepsi fans of the game. Did they make signs?
Get him out there.
Let's go. Turn him around. Oh, it's the Oklahoma City Thunder Girls poster.
There you go.
That little guy's too young to be looking at that anyway. Well, see, he has no idea. It's upside down,
right.
And
that's right.
Yeah, I mean, he's just going to use it as a backrest. Ooh. If it comes down, and if Phillips can find it, it should be an out. It does, and he does. And Edwin Encarnacion, who has walked today, but he's still just 1 for his last 21 against the Royals.
You know, Alex Gordon, he's in right field. Check him out. Watch Alex in right. I mean, he is going to be right there, and just in case they needed him.
Alonso does not run well, so Witt has time and throws him out. This is Bert Smith's 3rd inning. Sorry, Hud.
No. I just the new shifting that's gone the last couple of years. Watch for Witt. Watch him. He's way out in the right field. He's got to come in hard in order to throw him out. And if it's a speedy runner, he's going to beat that out. That's a real long run and also a long throw off balance to make it, and that is a slow-footed runner there. So it's, you know, you got to take a lot of practice out there before games so you can get the timing of that. And the only way you can really get good at that is in game, because there's an actual runner. You're not going to have anybody running during practice to try to give you a little simulation of that, but it's not easy.
He charged it like an outfielder and then threw it like an infielder. The Milkmen, and they've changed the logos to the Indians logo on their caps, and the C for Cleveland on the lapel. Bandwagoners.
It's great.
Although I give him credit for dressing like that on a day like today.
Yeah, you know, it is a good color though for E. I think they look cool.
They don't look hot, man.
They all have smiles on their faces.
Well, they probably have some nice frosty adult beverages stationed at some part of that section.
Last time Melky was up, they all had an ice cream. They were eating ice cream at the same time. I'm sure that was planned.
Jason Kipnis has 2 hits, a run scored, and an RBI. Well hit to center field. The wind is blowing out that way, and again Phillips fights the sun, and it drops on the warning track with 2 outs. Cabrera was going on contact, so he will score. Now Jason Kipnis has a 3-hit game, and he drives in his 2nd run, and the Indians now lead 8-4.
Yeah, he's got a little momentum now, Kipnis, and he really hit this one hard. And absolutely nothing wrong with what he did in center. That's so tough out there. Remember how many, now that ball was moving, it short hopped 410 feet. You're trying to catch that ball. How many times we see Lorenzo Cain out there struggle on day games? And especially when you're running towards the wall. Now he'd make that catch at night. To me, Maverick is a plus defender, and that's going to keep him in some games. He's going to have to work on shortening up his swing, and he will. He's got a long way to go. He's just a young player. He's a young talent. It's a perfect season, this season and next, to break him in.
Kipnis got a big break on Smith, and he swipes third base. And Major League Baseball players make a lot of difficult plays look easier than they are.
Got that right.
But there is nothing more awkward than a player losing a ball in the sun. There's nothing graceful about it at all. And yet, simply put, you cannot catch what you don't see. And I don't even think NASA has come up with goggles that would help an astronaut see an object when it's in the sun.
Yep. Welder's goggles wouldn't work at times.
That's the 2nd walk allowed by Bert Smith in the inning. And here comes Ned Yost. So 1st and 3rd, 2 down. Here comes Kevin McCarthy.
You're going to talk about angles, how you can turn your head, and of course, the younger you are, the less experience you have. But Alex Gordon, he's in that conversation right there. He's the teacher on that, how to turn your head, how to catch balls in the sun here at the K. It's a difference maker. The first thing you check in a day game are the elements that can control the game, and that's the wind and the sun. And you go from there.
Kevin McCarthy is on for the 51st time and is asked to get one out with runners at first and third. Only Tim Hill has appeared in more games for the Royals this year. He's appeared in 58. Slicing away from O'Hearn and foul by a couple of feet. McCarthy pitched a scoreless 7th inning on Friday. And he got out of that inning getting a double play from Greg Allen. Today he only needs one out. No balls, 2 strikes. Just looking at the scoreboard today, you know, the Royals before this homestand, they were swept by the Rays. The Rays just swept the Red Sox. Wow. Heskey, long underhand toss to Merrifield. He's there for the force on Perez.
That team is good.
So the Indians get one in the top of the 7th inning on the RBI from Jason Kipnis. Royals scored first, but ever since a 5-run 4th inning, they've been trying to chase down the Indians. And now it's 8-4 Cleveland. Alcides Escobar, Brett Phillips, and Drew Butera in the bottom of the 7th against Oliver Perez. He came on and got the last 2 outs of the 6th. Esky has doubled and reached on an error. Royals have 6 hits today, 5 extra base hits, 3 home runs, 2 doubles, and a single. 1-2 on Esky. Oliver Perez, once upon a time, was a power pitcher. Now a crafty lefty, crafty as far as his motion goes, his arm angles, and he gets a lot of ground balls. 1 down in the bottom of the 7th inning. Let's revisit our spring trivia question. Who holds the Royals record for most RBIs in a season playing fewer than 50 games? In the 1990s is the first clue.
Okay, it's going to be a hard one.
0-1 on Brett Phillips.
He was acquired in a trade. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Well, there was a in the mid-90s when Mr. Kaufman was ill. The Royals tried to make a run, and they made a big trade with the Mets, and they got Greg Jeffries and Kevin McReynolds in a deal with the Mets. I don't remember how well they did with the Royals.
Mutt, that was Jeffries' nickname.
What was McReynolds' nickname?
Okay, Matt.
I think they like to call him Kevy Boy. I don't know. I just made that up.
Yeah, no.
Phillips' base hit in the 5th inning put an end to an 0 for 20. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Today on the Price Chopper pregame Royals live show, they talked. You know, Monty gave us his favorite nicknames. Did you have any favorite baseball nicknames?
You mean for myself or just anybody?
Yeah, no, any nicknames out there. Any name.
My favorite Chris Berman, for somebody who eventually became a broadcast partner.
Oh, come on.
Bert B. Home Blyleven. That was my favorite.
Oh, good. That's good. Here comes Francona. So I'm gonna get my lefty out. 36 years young. He back-to-back nights. So that's enough.
We'll get our first look at right-hander Adam Simber. 8-4 Indians. 2 outs, nobody on. Bottom of the 7th. Adam Simber, who started the year with the Padres and was traded with Brad Hand over to the Indians. The Indians traded away a promising young catcher who can also play all over the field, Francisco Mejia. Simber might remind you of Royals Hall of Famer Dan Quisenberry.
Ooh, man. There's some arm action for you. Sidewinder. Sinker, slider. Got some deception, but look up in the zone. He's up in the zone. He can be hit. That's right. You know, 6.75 ERA in 13 games, just 8 innings pitched. Hasn't had a big opportunity, but he's left the ball up. It's not overpowering. He's going to have to really work it. He's got a little Mark Bird Fidrich in him. Got a little bit of antics on the mound like that. He really bends down low to get the sign.
We'll see if at some point he talks to the baseball.
Yeah.
Greg Allen takes care of Drew Butera, and Adam Simber gets the last out of the bottom of the 7th.
We still have Little Monty. If the Royals can come back, we'll leave him out here. How about this afternoon?
Yeah, it's been an uphill battle. Still trying to fight back from that 5-run 4th inning. Unfortunately, Jorge Lopez had the air go out of the tires in that inning. See what they can do later.
All right, we'll talk about that and more coming up on Boulevard Royals Live. And, you know, we call him Monty, but the players, his teammates, they used to call him Jack 21, Blackjack 21. Back to you guys.
Well, here's Jake Newberry. He's the 4th Royals pitcher today. He'll get the top of the order. Francisco Lindor. He has hits in his last 2 at-bats now. He drove in 2 with a single in the 6th inning. And before that single, he was just 1 for 12 in the series. Last time the Indians were here, he had a 7 RBI game. And now he's on for Michael Brantley, who has a 2-hit game. Jorge Lopez went 4 and gave up 5 runs, but all of those came in 1 inning. Lopez gave up no runs, 1 hit in the first 3 innings, and then with 1 out in the 4th, 6 straight Indians reached, 5 scored, and Bert Smith went 2 2/3. He was charged with 3. Kevin McCarthy got the last out of the 7th. 2 balls and no strikes from Newberry to Brantley.
Fastball, slider, changeup. Low 90s.
Three and 0. Two on, nobody out. Any thoughts on our trivia question?
I'm searching. Don't have many names for you because that's just, the hints are good.
It's a player from the 90s, a player who was acquired in a trade, and a player who ended up being an all-star.
And was only there a year and a half. Wow. I mentioned Gary Gaetti, but he was here longer than that.
Dean Palmer had a big year for the Royals in '98 and then signed as a free agent with the Tigers the next year, but I don't remember how long he was here prior to that. Let's see, he was with the Rangers, wasn't he, prior to that?
He was. He had some big years there. Strong hitter, power hitter, man. I mean, he had a nice career.
Jose Offerman was traded here from the Dodgers. Had a couple of good years here and ended up signing with the Red Sox.
Well, throw some of those names out there. See what if we get anything.
Hot by Duda and a double play.
Oh, that'll work. That's what you're talking about. Right man, right place.
Well, you want to run some names up there?
I think you should.
Dean Palmer.
What? You're kidding.
There's no skill involved.
Come on.
Ding, 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 ding. Yeah.
Can you believe that? There's no way we get that question.
Shot in the dark.
Come on. No way we get that.
Yeah.
Or you get that. No, you can't.
I wasn't even here for that.
Huh.
I mean, who knows how many trades the Royals made in the 90s.
Yep.
So sometimes you just dumb into one.
Man, that's good luck. Good fortune there. Way to go, partner.
One and one on Encarnacion.
Absolutely no chance we get that. I'm thinking this is way too difficult.
No, I mean, like I told you, Greg Jeffries, Kevin McReynolds.
Yeah. You know,
Jose Offerman.
Uh-oh.
Deep left center field and gone. That is extra base hit #1 for Edwin Encarnacion all year against the Royals. He had been 1 for his last 21 against the Royals. And he hits a 2-run home run in the 8th inning, and now the Indians lead 10-4.
Fastball right down the middle. big man like that hits one. And you know, you saw him round the bases with his right arm out like that. That's not, he's not showing anybody up with that. That happened several years ago when he was a Toronto Blue Jay, and he ran the base, or he came around first base. He was really running hard, and he lost his balance, you know, once he knew the ball was out of the park, and he kept his right arm up for at least one base or so, and then he got back to the dugout, and his teammates said, "Hey, look, we like that. Do it again." So he did it for his team, not to show up anybody.
So what you're saying is he does that on every home run now because he's a team guy.
Oh well, no, I mean that's how it began. I don't know. I'm sure it wasn't done to show anybody up. That's what I'm saying. Now
not aware of any pitcher that's bothered by it, or
no. It's all.
It happens a lot, by the way, too.
Yeah.
He hits a lot of home runs.
Yeah, he's a prolific home run hitter.
Maybe Joe Randa taught him that when they were together in Cincinnati.
I doubt it, but. So the Blue Jays, you know, their marketing department, they took full advantage of that, and they would show on their board him rounding the base with his arm up there with a waiter's white towel over his hand, a parrot on there. I mean, just good humor, good humor.
Can't beat fun at the old ballpark.
No, you can't.
Toronto, talking about home runs there. Kendrys Morales has homered in 7 straight games. That's a Blue Jays record. The previous record in Toronto was held by Jose Cruz Jr. And now he's 1 game away from tying the Major League record, held by Ken Griffey Jr., Don Mattingly, and Dale Long.
Wow. Congratulations, K-Mo.
Andrew Miller, who hasn't had a typical Andrew Miller year. He's been bothered by injuries for most of the season. And Terry Francona doesn't typically bring him into a 10-4 game. He's just trying to help him get back on track as we're just a little more than a month away from the end of the regular season. But Miller's had hamstring problems. He's had knee problems. And he's 3 balls and no strikes with Whit Merrifield.
Big fella's got a lot of different arm angles too. He'll use it, and that fastball cuts it, curve change. Has been one of the best working through some issues,
which have been walks. That's a fair ball. Whit Merrifield has another hit, and the Royals have another extra base hit today.
35th double, man, and he got nothing but chalk. Sidewinder came in there. You can't come in on Whitley, especially if he's looking in there, because he'll pull you and he'll somehow find a way to keep it fair. Look at chalk flew up when it landed right on it.
Boy, he's done it all. Stolen bases. Mondesi is not in the lineup today, our Toyota League leaders. Mondesi will get 2 days off. Whit last year led the league in stolen bases with 34, and then it looked like he wasn't going to have much of a shot at that this year with D. Gordon in the American League, but Gordon has spent some time on the disabled list. And Whit is tied for second in the league in stolen bases.
And you know, you won't see him go here though, because you know there's no need for it, and they're not holding him close. They probably wouldn't even throw if he went. So you know, you have to have, you got to know when you can steal and when you can't. You can't just go out there and try to pad your numbers. That sometimes upsets your opponent. Even nowadays, it used to really upset him, but nowadays, you still got to think about it.
Two and one on Alex. And now 3 balls, 1 strike. You know, the remarkable thing about Mondesi, he's done it in 25 games. Merrifield's played 36, Malik Smith 30, and Trey Turner 35. So they've got anywhere from 5 to 11 games on him, but he's the leader. Fouled in a perfect location. Brantley couldn't get there. Ramirez couldn't get there. Still 3 and 2 on Alex. That stolen base he had last night when he thought he missed first base. We looked at that a few times. I thought he got the corner, but he thought he missed it. So on what could have been a triple, he went back to first, and then he took off 1 second before Kluber came to the plate.
No
and
contest.
Made up for missing the base.
Yeah, he did.
With the next pitch. Still 3 and 2. Allen. He'll make the play. Merrifield holds. 1 out. And let's go to Joel.
A little bit more minor league talk in our minor league spotlight, and it's not a nickname, but it might be one of the best names in the minor leagues. Richard Lovelady, also a name that we will hear up at Kauffman Stadium. He certainly made an impression during spring training, and he has been spectacular this year, especially of late. Last 24 appearances, 0.74 ERA. As Mark Nasser, the play-by-play voice of the Storm Chasers, told us on Price Chopper Royals Live, he might be here already if the roster led to that, but he doesn't even need to be protected yet. So much of this can be roster management, but that is absolutely a name to keep an eye on, not just because it is a unique name, but because he has some serious ability.
Out of Kennesaw State University in Georgia, Richard Lovelady. And that's not his first good year in the minor leagues. Salvador Perez lifts it to right, and now the sun is in right. Cabrera makes a play, familiar with this ballpark. That'll get Whit to third. Salvi is 1 for 4. Here's Richard Lovelady's ERAs at 4 stops to begin his minor league career. 1.74, 1.84, 1.08, and 2.16.
Heads up, man. They'll be looking for him soon. Those are nice numbers. Wow. So if you're a pitcher right now in the Royals and you have numbers like that, you got to be feeling pretty good that you're going to get an opportunity. You're going to get a shot. They're going to figure out what's going on with their rotation in their bullpen, and they're going to fix that. They're going to get these young athletes going, and they're going to be competitive sooner than people think. That's my opinion. You know, we've been studying the minor leagues the last 2-3 weeks, and we're seeing some good results down there.
Oh, 2 on Lucas Duda. He's hit one of the 3 home runs today. With Ramirez, the third baseman, basically in the shortstop position, there's really nothing to keep Merrifield close to third unless Miller just wants to run him down.
Yeah, no. Perez faked a throw down to Whitley. So you see shortstops all the way over here. So Whitley was getting a nice lead down about here. And when he faked a throw to Whitley, Whitley looked at him and just shook his head, didn't even move. And then Miller took off after him. Interesting.
Ooh, hit hard up the middle, and that's off of Lindor's glove. Duda safe. Merrifield scores.
I'm glad to see that they ruled that a hit, because as great as the shortstop is, that ball was screaming. It was screaming. And 2 hops in the last one was a short hop right to his back end. You can't assume he's going to make that play. That would have been a tough error.
Duda's driven in 3 today.
Good for Duda. 101 exit velo, short hop.
Hunter Dozier is 0 for 3. He lined out to right field in his last at bat. Brandon Maurer will pitch the 9th inning. Lindor gets another chance on a more routine play, and that's the inning. Merrifield doubles. Duda singles him home. It is 10-5 to the 9th. City is brought to you by Jeep. Hurry in and get a great deal at the Jeep Labor Day sales event. Royals have hit 3 home runs today, counting for 4 of their 5 runs. The Indians have hit 1 home run today, but they have 10 runs on 12 hits. Their biggest inning was a 5-run 4th. Brandon Maurer comes on in the 9th inning, trying to brush off Friday night when he came on with a 1-run lead and gave up a home run to Yonder Alonso to put the Indians in front. But all that did was just set up the bottom of the 9th inning when Ryan O'Hearn homered to tie the game and Hunter Dozier homered to win it. Two 2-0 on Melky Cabrera, who's reached base 4 times today and has scored 3 times. 3-0. Up comes Jason Kipnis. Royals have a day off tomorrow, and then the Tigers are here for a night game Tuesday, a day game Wednesday. Jacob Junis against Matthew Boyd Tuesday. Danny Duffy and Michael Fulmer Wednesday. And the Royals will have another day off. And next weekend, the Baltimore Orioles are here for a 3-game series. And after that series with Baltimore, we are down to 2 road trips and 2 homestands. And the regular season will finish here at Kauffman Stadium against these Indians. Jason Kipnis has 3 hits today. Two and 1. That's well hit right field. Alex Gordon goes into the corner, up against the wall, and it hits the top of the wall and bounces a long way away back into right, and Kipnis is going to be waved home. Here's the relay from Merrifield, safe with a stand-up inside the park home run. He just missed an outside the park home run, and because of the bounce, circled the bases.
Have a day. All right, now you can see Alex is going to have some issues with this. If you're the center fielder, you're going to have to go help him. And by the time Phillips was able to get there, it's too late. They almost got him at home.
One away.
All right, now here we go. See our center fielder, top of the field. You're going to see that now. You're going to kind of start drifting. You're going to drift it. Brett didn't drift. He just kind of waited and became a spectator. Now he's going, oh no. So you're going to want to follow that ball a little bit and feel. And being a corner, Phillips probably has played some corner outfield before to understand that. Another teaching moment.
That's the second time that Jason Kipnis has had an inside the park home run, and he's a triple shy of hitting for the cycle today. That ball gets through Duda, and Allen is on with 1 out.
Well, that's rare. But you explained it earlier today, this kind of afternoon.
Yeah.
A lot of truth to that.
Seen a game like this many times on a hot Sunday in Kansas City. both ways in the Royals' favor or going against the Royals. I think I just witnessed, and keep an eye on Twitter, one of the best videos taken on a cell phone. Jason Kipnis, after his inside the park home run, one of those guys was recording that entire at bat of Kipnis. And Kipnis hits an inside the park home run and then runs right to those guys and gives them a high five.
Way to go. I didn't notice that. He's liking it. Yeah.
How about that for good luck?
That is outstanding. You might get a souvenir now.
That Travis Kelce?
I don't know.
He and Kipnis were pointing at one another after he hit the inside the park home run, and Kipnis back in the Indians dugout.
All right.
And they have some, he went to the University of Cincinnati. How about that? You get tickets to go see your buddy. He hits an inside the park home run, and he comes running through home plate and gives you a high five.
Doesn't get no better than that. That's for sure. I mean, how rare is an inside the park home run anyway?
Travis is from just outside Cleveland. He comes to a lot of Royals games, as his schedule allows. No balls, 2 strikes. So Bauers appeared in this Indian series twice, and in both of his appearances he has allowed a 2-run home run. Still no balls, 2 strikes. Foul off the side wall. Well, in the first 2 games of the series, Royals pitching held the Indians to 5 runs. Winning game 1 5-4. It was a one-sided game last night, 7-1, and now the Indians have made up for that today with 12 runs on 13 hits. Dozier goes out from third and into foul territory to make the play. And to think that this game began with the Indians no runs, 1 hit in the first 3 innings. Jason Kipnis hits his 2nd career inside the park home run. get him a new hat, although this was his childhood team. But Travis Kelce's being a Kansas City ambassador, shaking hands with a lot of fans down in the crown seats, who I'm sure are Chiefs fans. And he'd get fired up on the football field every now and then, but he's by all accounts a gentleman in public. And speaking from experience, Sarah took our oldest son Micah to a Blues game when they were at Sprint Center, and they just happened to be sitting right in front of Travis Kelce, and said he couldn't have been nicer, and took pictures with Micah. So
fantastic.
Good for him.
Yep, good report. It's easy to be nice.
Our copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Kansas City Royals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Kansas City Royals Baseball Club. Well, he doesn't have a Royals hat on, but it looked like he ended up with either Salvador Perez or Alcides Escobar's Venezuelan themed baseball bats. Who knows, maybe he's had some of his Cleveland buddies in town after the Chiefs game yesterday to watch his hometown team in the first row. Yandy Diaz takes over at first base for Yonder Alonso. Eric Gonzalez at second for Kipnis. Somebody needs to find that video on Twitter. It will probably be found much quicker if Travis posted on his account, even though he wasn't the one holding the phone.
No doubt.
Well, Cody Allen couldn't get Ryan O'Hearn out on Friday night. First pitch that Cody Allen threw ended up in the left field bullpen for a game-tying home run, setting up Hunter Dozier's walk-off. And now Ryan O'Hearn walks, leading off the 9th inning today. And getting back to a point you made a few innings ago with the Indians, who are running away with the Central Division with a 12-game lead. And it's going to be 13 as Minnesota's losing big at home to Oakland. But Andrew Miller's not pitching very well. He gave up a run in the 8th inning today. Cody Allen's not pitching well at the moment. Always want to be cautious in evaluating non-save situations. We've learned a lot about that from Monty over the years, but this is not the lockdown, sure thing Cleveland bullpen that the Indians have had the last 2 years.
Nope. We all know how important, especially that man there does. He knows really how important in postseason that is. So they'll have their hands full. The Blue Jays come to town, and it'd be nice to see if Morales can go deep. It's a good place for left-handed hitters to go deep there in Cleveland, keep his streak alive, and tie the record.
Who are they pitching tomorrow?
Good question.
Or Tuesday? Carlos Carrasco, so he will get to bat left-handed.
Yep.
Fouled away by Escobar. That ball landed in the first row of the upper deck, and nobody was within 10 rows of it. And those guys came racing down the stairs. So that had the crowd's attention for a moment. Escobar gets it over Lindor for his second hit of the day. So a walk and a bloop single, and there are 2 on for Brett Phillips. I don't know if I'd want to go steaming down the stairs of the upper deck.
Yep, got to be careful. Quality time at the K has never been easier with Family Fun Day Sundays, presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Enjoy pregame activities for the whole family, including face painters, games in the outfield experience, and pregame player autographs with signature Sundays. After the game, kids under 14, they can test their speed round on the bases.
on the field with the Kansas City Zoo Fun Run. Get your tickets at Royals.com/Sunday. Yeah, I would. That would
Are they still looking for it?
I think so. Look out! Be careful. Oh, there he goes. It was in a cup holder. Good. That's a great place to hide it. Oh gosh, be careful. I don't think that would be worth it.
So there you go. You run into a row where you think the foul ball is, don't forget to check the cup holders. Learn something new every day.
Yeah.
1-1 on Brett Phillips. He has struck out twice today, and he has a single, and that single put an end to an 0 for 20. Fouled away, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
So just in case you might be thinking that Miller, one of their best relievers, and Cody Allen are coming in here to just get some work in, you're wrong. They're out there trying to compete like it is a safe situation. I learned that earlier this year when I asked the reliever, what's his name, Ryan? They call him the Dragon, has a great changeup. From Santa Monica. I can't think of his name real quick. Devers? No.
Santa Monica?
No. Santa Ana.
Oh, well, that helps.
No, the right-hander has a great
Sure he's not
up.
From Santa Clarita?
Nah.
Oh, okay.
No, Santa Ana. I got it right.
What team does he play for?
Houston Astros.
Oh.
He's one of their relievers.
Chris Davinsky?
Thank you. I was close. Anyway.
Yeah, I mean, how in the world could I get Santa Monica and Houston confused?
No. Thanks for helping me there. But anyway, he told me when he came into a game, it was a blowout game, and I went down there the next day. I go, well, you just getting some work in? And he looked at me like, what? What are you talking about? I never get work in. I'm competing against the world's best. I'm going to try to show him up. Davinsky. He says, I'm going to try to show him up. I want to beat him. Okay, sorry.
But as Monty has shared with us, that, as he said, in a non-safe situation, he was never not competing. He wanted to get hitters out. But when you're in a one-sided game, and especially a game like this one, it's hot, it's steamy. Everyone just wants this game to be over with, at least the Indians do. That there's a tendency to feel like you gotta work faster than you normally do.
Yeah.
You know, you gotta throw your fastball more often, just get the inning over with, and you don't pitch like you normally would. Oh, 0-2 on Drew Butera. The Indians have a day off tomorrow, so Terry Francona is probably not too concerned about Cody Allen throwing a lot of pitches in a non-safe situation. There was a game when we were here in July and Cody Allen needed some work. And Terry Francona brought him in with 2 outs. Remember that? And we were thinking, what's he doing? I mean, come on, pitching change now in his one-sided game. Well, he wanted his closer to get some work, but he didn't want him to get stuck in a long inning.
That's right.
2 balls, 2 strikes. And what can happen sometimes is your closer hasn't gotten work in a while, so you bring him in a situation like this, and now all of a sudden you're like, oh my gosh, he's thrown 20 pitches. There's only 1 out. And it's a wasted appearance, and now maybe he's not available 2 days from now, so a little different with a day off tomorrow. But Terry Francona, I thought that was interesting. In July, He got him work, but he brought him in the second inning just to make sure he wouldn't get trapped in a long inning.
So Terry Francona has been around long enough to know in baseball, expect the unexpected.
Just over our heads. We were talking about their long winning streak last year, 22 games, which is an American League record. The year before, they had a 14-game winning streak, which was a team record. They have lost 4 in a row coming into today, and now they lead by 7 with 2 outs to go. The last time Terry Francona's Indians lost 5 straight was 3 years ago. Infield fly rule, and Ramirez brings it down for the second out. 3 years ago was the last time they lost 5 in a row. And I don't even know if that's not a long losing streak. I mean, nobody wants to lose 5 in a row, especially if you're a contending team.
No,
but
that's an outstanding record.
Two on, 2 out. And Whit Merrifield. He is homered, doubled, scored twice, and driven in a run. It is a 25 pitch inning for Cody Allen. Grounded sharply to second. That ball ate up Gonzalez, but he got a glove on it and over to first to end the game and the series. So the Royals don't quite get the sweep, but they take 2 out of 3 from Cleveland. The Indians win it today 12-5. We'll be back.